There are people in your life right now who clap for you only when the lights are on, but the moment darkness settles, they disappear. There are hands that reach out to you when you can offer them something, but those same hands vanish when you are empty. The truth I want you to hold in your spirit today is this: not everyone deserves your commitment. Not everyone is worthy of the sanctuary of your presence. And until you learn this, you will keep bleeding for people who never intended to stop your wounds from opening. Commitment is not free. It is costly. It demands your time, your energy, your prayers, and sometimes even your tears. And the greatest mistake you can make is to pour the oil of your devotion into vessels that are cracked and leaking. There are people who will never value what you give, not because what you give is not precious, but because they are blind to its worth. You cannot convince the blind to see, and you cannot force the ungrateful to honor what they have. The strength of your life is not in how tightly you hold on, but in how wisely you let go. Detachment is not a sign of weakness. It is the language of spiritual authority. It is the moment you say, "My soul is too sacred to be wasted, my heart too pure to be trampled, and my time too valuable to be consumed by those who do not honor it." Do not mistake detachment for coldness. Detachment is love, love for yourself and love for the assignment that God has placed within you. Pay attention to silence. If you withdraw for a while, who notices? Who searches for you? Who checks in not because they need you, but because they miss you? This is how you discern who truly values your presence. Words may flatter, actions may deceive, but silence reveals. Those who never notice your absence never deserved your presence in the first place. And hear me on this: your boundaries are holy. When you say no, you are not pushing people away. You are drawing a line between what depletes you and what sustains you. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates. They decide who has earned the privilege to walk into the garden of your life. Some people only want to pick your fruit, but the ones who value you will water your roots. Your presence is not ordinary, it is a seed, and seeds must be planted in fertile ground. Stop wasting your devotion on barren soil, because no matter how much water you pour, it will never yield fruit. Your commitment must be selective, not desperate. It must be intentional, not emotional. Life has a way of exposing loyalty. When storms come, those who are for you will hold your hand, and those who are only passing through will let it go. Stop grieving over those who walk away. Their exit is simply the universe protecting your destiny. Your detachment is divine redirection. When you rise in purpose, understand this: some people will naturally fall away. Don't chase them. Don't beg them to stay. The light of your destiny will always attract the ones who are truly aligned with you. You don't need to convince the right people of your worth. Your presence alone will be enough. Value is not seen in the loud declarations of affection or in the grand gestures that fade with time. It is revealed in consistency. A person who truly values your presence does not only show up when the sun is shining and the crowd is cheering. They are there when the applause dies down, when the lights are off, and when the silence is heavy. Consistency is the truest language of honor because it cannot be faked for long. Anyone can be kind for a moment, supportive for a season, or enthusiastic when it benefits them, but only the ones who genuinely treasure you will sustain that energy even when there is nothing in it for them. Think about the people in your life who never need to be reminded to check on you, who remember the small details, who remain steady even when life pulls you into valleys. That is value. The ones who are only present in moments of celebration but absent in moments of trial have already revealed where you stand in their lives. Commitment is costly, and those who pay that price with consistency are the ones who are worthy of your devotion. When someone values your presence, you do not have to beg for their time, nor do you have to prove your worth. They show up because they want to, not because you asked. They remain because they see your presence as a gift, not as a convenience. This is why consistency is such a powerful marker. It cuts through pretense and exposes the truth. Anyone can say they care, but only consistency can prove it. The measure of someone's loyalty and regard for you is not what they do once, but what they continue to do over time. Energy has a language of its own, and it speaks louder than words ever can. A person may tell you they value you They may decorate their speech with promises and flattery, but the truth is revealed in the energy they bring into your space. Do they bring peace or do they bring chaos? Do they uplift you or do they drain you? Words can be rehearsed, but energy is honest. It cannot pretend for long because it flows directly from the heart. When someone truly values your presence, their energy communicates it without them even trying. You feel it in the way they listen attentively, in the way they make space for your voice, and in how they protect the atmosphere around you. On the other hand, when someone's presence feels heavy, when they belittle your dreams or leave you emotionally exhausted, that is their energy telling you the truth their words may try to cover. You must learn to trust energy more than declarations. Promises can be broken, excuses can be endless, but energy is consistent. Pay attention to how you feel when someone walks into the room. Pay attention to the subtle shifts in your spirit when they speak or when they remain silent. Your intuition reads energy long before your mind can process it. The greatest mistake is to ignore the signals that energy sends. It is not about being judgmental, it is about being discerning. Those who value you will naturally radiate respect, kindness, and sincerity, while those who do not will carry the weight of indifference, entitlement, or pretense. Energy is a mirror, and if you look closely, it will show you who deserves your commitment and who has only been surviving on borrowed words. Detachment is not rejection, it is a higher form of wisdom, a spiritual discipline that protects your purpose and preserves your peace. When you learn to detach, you are not saying that others do not matter. You are saying that your soul matters too. There are people who will take as much as you allow, draining your energy, your time, and your spirit until you have nothing left. Detachment becomes the shield that keeps you from pouring into places that were never meant to hold you. It is a conscious decision to release what no longer serves your growth so that you can align with what truly elevates you. So many people confuse detachment with coldness, but the truth is, it is love expressed in its purest form. It is the recognition that clinging to what is toxic or draining is not love at all. It is bondage. Detachment allows you to step back without resentment, to let go without bitterness, and to move forward without guilt. It is choosing your assignment over your attachments, your calling over your comfort, your destiny over your desperation. There is a quiet strength that comes with detachment. You no longer feel the need to chase, to beg, or to force your way into places where your presence is not valued. You begin to see clearly who is truly walking with you and who was only passing through. Detachment creates space for clarity, and in that clarity you find the freedom to walk with confidence and peace. It is not about shutting people out, it is about aligning yourself with those who nourish your spirit and releasing those who only deplete it. In detachment, you discover that real strength lies not in holding on tightly, but in letting go wisely. Your time is not ordinary, it is holy ground. Every hour you give away is a piece of your life that you can never reclaim. Where you invest your time determines the harvest you will reap, and that is why not everyone deserves access to it. Too often, people waste their days on relationships, conversations, and commitments that do not feed their purpose. They give the most sacred part of themselves, their time, to those who see it as common, and in doing so, they diminish the very gift that could change their lives. When someone values your presence, they respect your time. They don't take your availability for granted, and they don't treat your attention as something they can abuse. They understand that time is life itself, and when you share it with them, you are sharing something sacred. But when people continuously disregard your time, when they cancel, delay, or show up only when it's convenient for them, they are telling you exactly how much they value your presence. Believe them. Protecting your time is not selfish. It is an act of wisdom. Every minute you spend in the wrong place is a minute stolen from the right one. Every hour wasted on the wrong people is an hour delayed from building what truly matters. You must guard your time with the same reverence that you guard your faith, your health, and your dreams. Time is a seed, and where you plant it will determine the fruit you will see. If you invest it in relationships that honor you, it will yield strength, joy, and growth. But if you scatter it carelessly on barren ground, it will produce nothing but regret. Your time is holy ground. Treat it with the honor it deserves. Loyalty is never proven in moments of ease. It is revealed in the weight of trials. Anyone can stand by you when the skies are clear, when laughter is abundant, and when success makes your company desirable. But when the storms of life rise, when everything you built is shaken, and when the world grows quiet around you, that is when the truth of loyalty is unveiled. It is in those dark and heavy seasons that you discover who truly values your presence, not because of what you give, but because of who you are. People often assume loyalty, believing that words of assurance are enough to measure devotion. Yet words are fragile. They shatter when tested by adversity. True loyalty does not announce itself. It remains steady when others are walking away. It speaks life when doubt surrounds you. And it fights for you even when you cannot fight for yourself. Such loyalty is rare, but it is the only kind worthy of your deepest commitment. You must learn to let the storms be your revealer. Do not fear the loss of those who abandon you in difficult times, for their absence is simply a revelation of the truth that was hidden in comfort. What trials expose is not a loss, it is clarity. The ones who remain, the ones who choose you in the valley as much as they chose you on the mountain, are the ones who deserve your loyalty in return. Loyalty cannot be assumed, it must be tested. And once it has been tested and proven, it becomes one of the most sacred bonds you can hold. For in a world full of convenience and self-interest, those who remain unshaken in the storm are the ones who have truly seen your worth. Boundaries are not walls meant to isolate you. They are declarations of self-respect that define how others may interact with your life. They are the invisible lines that protect your energy, your peace, and your purpose. When you say no to what drains you, you are not being unkind. You are honoring yourself and the calling that rests upon you. Far too many people struggle with guilt when setting boundaries as though preserving their well-being is selfish. But the truth is, boundaries are acts of wisdom, not rejection. They're the way you teach others how to treat you. Those who truly value your presence will never be offended by your boundaries, because they understand that love without respect is not love at all. They will see your no not as a denial of affection, but as an affirmation of your worth. On the other hand, those who resist your boundaries reveal that they were never interested in your well-being, only in their own convenience. This is why boundaries are not only protective, they are also revelatory. They expose who values you and who merely uses you. When you lack boundaries, you give others permission to mishandle your time, your emotions, and your energy. You spread yourself too thin, pouring into places that leave you empty. But when you set boundaries, you preserve your strength for the things and people that truly matter. Your presence is a seed, and every seed carries the potential to produce life, transformation, and abundance. But a seed will only grow if it is planted in fertile soil. In the same way, your presence must be invested in people and environments that honor, nurture, and value it. Too often, people scatter their presence in barren places, pouring their time and energy into relationships that neither appreciate nor cultivate what they bring. And no matter how much you give, no matter how much you sacrifice, nothing will grow in soil that refuses to receive. Those who truly value your presence will treat it as a gift, not a convenience. They will water the seed of your presence with gratitude, with consistency, and with genuine care. They will not trample on it with neglect or entitlement, because they understand that your time, your wisdom, and your spirit are not ordinary. Just as a farmer does not waste seed on ground that is hard and unyielding, you must not waste yourself on people who cannot see your worth. It takes discernment to recognize the difference between fertile ground and barren soil. Fertile ground responds to your presence. It grows, it multiplies, it bears fruit. Barren soil, however, resists, rejects, or consumes without ever producing anything life-giving in return. And while it may feel noble to keep sowing in barren places, the truth is you are only delaying your own harvest. Your presence is sacred, and when you place it where it is honored, it will produce abundance not only for others but also for you. But when you cast it carelessly where it is ignored, you diminish its power. Guard your seed, choose your soil wisely, and remember that not every place deserves the gift of your presence. Silence has a way of exposing truth that words often conceal. When you step back, when your voice is no longer present in someone's daily life, pay attention to what happens. Do they notice your absence, or do they move on as though you never existed? The answer to this reveals more than any promise or declaration ever could. For those who truly value your presence will feel the void when you are not there. They will reach out, they will seek you, not because they need something from you, but because your presence carries weight in their lives. On the other hand, silence exposes those who only benefited from your presence but never valued it. When they do not notice you are gone, when days turn into weeks without a single thought of you crossing their mind, that silence is speaking louder than words. It is telling you that your place in their life was never as important as you believed. That revelation may sting, but it is also liberating. It frees you from pouring yourself into spaces where your worth is invisible. Silence is not just the absence of noise, it is the presence of truth. In the stillness, clarity emerges. You begin to see who is truly connected to your spirit and who is only connected to your convenience. That is why stepping back is so powerful. It is not withdrawal out of anger, but discernment born of wisdom. The ones who pursue you in your silence, who notice your absence and care enough to fill it, are the ones who deserve the gift of your commitment. Those who remain indifferent have already answered the question of whether your presence was ever truly valued. Detachment is often mistaken for weakness, but in truth, it is one of the greatest demonstrations of inner strength. Walking away from those who misuse your loyalty requires courage because it means choosing your peace over your fears, your purpose over your attachments, and your dignity over your desire to be needed. It takes strength to recognize when someone is not honoring your presence and to release them without bitterness. Detachment is not about punishing others. It is about protecting your spirit from being drained by people who are never meant to carry your heart. The weak hold on desperately, even when the connection is toxic, because they are afraid of emptiness. The strong, however, understand that emptiness is not the enemy. It is the space where something better can grow. Detachment is not about shutting people out coldly. It is about standing so firmly in your worth that you refuse to beg for love, attention, or loyalty where it is not freely given. It is declaring that your devotion is sacred and must be handled with care. When you detach, you step into a place of power. You no longer allow manipulation, inconsistency, or half-heartedness to dictate the value of your life. You teach others by your actions that access to you is a privilege, not an entitlement. Detachment draws a clear line between those who genuinely value you and those who only benefit from you. And once that line is drawn, you gain freedom. The freedom to walk in peace, the freedom to choose relationships that uplift you, and the freedom to pursue the higher call upon your life. Detachment is not weakness. It is wisdom clothed in strength, and it is a doorway to true emotional and spiritual freedom. When you rise in purpose, something divine happens. People begin to reveal themselves without you asking. The ones who were only attached to your old self, to your struggles, or to what you could give them, naturally fall away. It is not always betrayal. Sometimes it is simply misalignment. As you ascend, the vibration of your life shifts, and not everyone can breathe in the atmosphere of your new level. This is why you must not grieve when certain people leave, for their departure is proof that you are stepping into alignment with your destiny. Divine alignment is a filter. It separates those who are merely passing through from those who are meant to walk with you. The right people will not be intimidated by your growth. They will celebrate it, support it, and grow alongside you. They will not compete with you, nor will they resent your light. Instead, they will see your rising as an opportunity for all of you to shine together. These are the people who truly value your presence because their hearts are aligned with your purpose, not your possessions. When God elevates you, understand that He also refines your circle. He clears away distractions, exposes pretenders, and strengthens the bonds with those who are truly for you. You will notice that the ones meant to stay do not require convincing. They remain because their spirit resonates with yours. Alignment makes loyalty effortless. This is why it is dangerous to cling to those who are falling away. Holding on to them will only weigh you down and delay your rise. Trust that as you step fully into your purpose, the right people, those who value your presence deeply, will not just stay, they will rise with you. The truth is this: your presence is sacred, your time is precious, and your loyalty is priceless. Do not cast these treasures before those who cannot see their worth. Life will always reveal who belongs in your inner circle through silence, through storms, through the way people respond when you draw boundaries. Pay attention. The wrong people will demand your energy while giving nothing in return, but the right ones will honor your presence as the gift that it is. Never be afraid to walk away from what diminishes you. Detachment is not rejection, it is redirection. It is the universe, it is God Himself positioning you for relationships and spaces where your presence will be celebrated, not tolerated. Remember, not everyone deserves your commitment because commitment is holy. It is the covenant of your time, your heart, and your soul. And if you give it recklessly, you will find yourself empty. So stand firm in your worth, guard your presence, protect your energy, and choose wisely who you allow to walk alongside you. Because in the end, the strength of your destiny is not determined by the number of people around you, but by the quality of those who remain when everything else fades.